One big idea that led to the birth of cryptocurrency is decentralization. The idea that power over an organization or an asset should be shared equally among the users and owners of that organization. To this end, cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano were launched. All aim to give us more control over our money and the services we use in our lives. But there is a blockchain project that's not focused on us. Instead, it's focused on the big corporations we're trying to break away from. In today's video, we'll be looking at a decentralized blockchain that's not so decentralized, Ripple. We'll also look at what problems Ripple aims to solve, how its network runs, and its tokenomics. Stick around to the end of the video where we look at Ripple's recent trouble with the US government agency. Before we begin, I want to remind all eager investors watching this video that this is not a piece of investment advice and should not be taken as such. If you do, however, you're on your own. Now, back to the video. Ripple is a really unique blockchain project, and I really mean that. In a world of blockchain where most projects aim to do something different but end up solving the same problems, Ripple actually stands out. For starters, Ripple is not targeted at individuals like you and me. Ripple is targeted at large corporations that handle huge amounts of transactions. These are banks, hedge funds, insurance companies, and more. These large institutions need to make overseas payments. To make this a bit clearer, let's look at some inner workings of our regular financial system. One of the biggest bottlenecks facing the global financial system is making overseas payments. Many companies, especially banks, have a particularly rough time with making large overseas payments. That's why it often takes days before you can receive money from another country directly into your bank account. Now, let's look at some of the main causes of this problem. The first reason is that making transactions overseas is vulnerable to theft and fraud, and so banks need a secure system to facilitate those transactions. The system most banks use is called SWIFT. SWIFT stands for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications. SWIFT has over 11,000 customers in over 200 countries. SWIFT also handles $5 trillion every single day. Despite these incredible numbers, making international transactions is still annoyingly slow. So much so that many organizations are looking for an alternative. The other reason why banks have a problem moving money overseas is that most times banks don't have a direct line to each other. Let me give you an example to make this clearer. Say you were in London and you wanted to pay someone in Zambia. The chances that your bank in London has a direct line of contact with the other person's bank in Zambia is very slim. So usually what happens is that your bank in London will contact a bank they have a direct line with and ask that bank to try to communicate with your bank. If this middleman bank can't talk to the receiver's bank, then they will bring another middleman and on until they can reach the receiver's bank. This increases the time it takes to make overseas payments. It also increases the transaction fees. The more middlemen they are, the higher the transaction fees will be. By now, I expect you already see why companies and other institutions have a hard time making international transactions. Well, that was until Ripple Labs came along. Ripple Labs is the private company that launched the Ripple blockchain. It is also responsible for maintaining the network. Ripple Labs wants to make it easy for banks and other financial institutions to make international payments quickly and cheaply. To that end, they launched the Ripple blockchain. So now that we know what the Ripple blockchain wants to do, let's look at how it works. We'll start by looking at its consensus protocol. In case you didn't know, a consensus protocol simply means the process used by a blockchain to verify and publish transactions on the network. The Ripple blockchain does not use proof of work or proof of stake for its consensus protocol. Instead, it uses a unique consensus protocol known as the XRP ledger. The XRP ledger uses ledgers instead of blocks. The ledgers contain the history of all previously approved transactions on the network. The ledger also contains a set of rules that validators will use to verify transactions. The validators are chosen by participants in the Ripple network. These validators will verify transactions according to the rules set by the ledger. The XRP ledger also uses something called the unique node list. These are people who the network believes are credible and will work to prevent double spending on the network. There are 35 slots on the unique node list, and 6 of them belong to Ripple Labs. Ripple keeps a record of all transactions stored on computers that have been distributed to select banks around the world. The active validators process transactions and make sure that the transactions are confirmed in 5 seconds max. This consensus protocol helps Ripple handle 1,500 transactions per second. Its fees are also super cheap, even going as low as 1,000 times less than 1 cent. Now, let's take a look at Ripple's tokenomics. Once again, Ripple stands out in this category. Unlike other blockchains, blocks are not mined to confirm transactions. Also, there is no financial reward for confirming transactions on the Ripple network. XRP has a maximum supply of 100 billion coins, all of which were mined at the launch of the project. Out of that number, 20 billion coins were given to the founders of the project, Jed McCaleb, Chris Larsen, and Arthur Brito. Another 40 billion XRP coins have been sold off to companies and individuals. Then 7 billion coins were given to Ripple Labs, the team responsible for maintaining the Ripple network. The remaining Ripple supply is locked away in a smart contract, and it is released to Ripple Labs at a rate of $1 billion coins per month. This process will continue until the max supply of 100 billion Ripple coins has been reached. According to Ripple Labs, Ripple is a deflationary token. Apart from its max supply, Ripple also cuts down its supply during transactions. Instead of earning from transaction fees, Ripple burns its transaction fees instead. By reducing the supply, the founders are making it more scarce. And when demand for the coin begins to kick up, it could mean something huge for the price. Now, for the part you've all been waiting for, Ripple's issues with the SEC. The SEC, or Securities Exchange Commission, filed a lawsuit claiming that Ripple Labs is treating Ripple as a security instead of a cryptocurrency. Securities are basically assets like stocks and bonds. The SEC claimed that Ripple Labs built Ripple with the intention of making money from it, and that makes it a security risk. It also claims that Ripple is not as decentralized as other cryptocurrencies. Instead, it is controlled by Ripple Labs. Now, many assets in Ripple's position would just negotiate a settlement with the SEC, but Ripple chose to go the other way. Ripple is challenging the SEC, claiming that it is biased towards Ripple, especially in its classification as an asset. Ripple claims that it is very similar to other cryptocurrency projects like Ethereum. Before we round up, let's look at Ripple's biggest controversy. Many claim that the project is not decentralized. They claim that Ripple Labs owns the project and can change how it runs whenever they like. Some of this is actually true, but not all of it. Ripple owns all of the servers that house the network. Plus, Ripple Labs is also responsible for maintaining the network. But that doesn't mean it owns the network. You see, ownership of the Ripple network was given to participants in the network after it was launched. Ripple Labs only maintains the running of the network, the same way that Bitcoin's ownership was given to participants in the Bitcoin network, and now the founders just maintain the network. If that's the case, then why the confusion? Because of Ripple Labs' unique relationship with the Ripple network. Ripple Labs has a range of products that it sells to banks and other large corporations. These services include xRapid, xVia, and xCurrent, and all of these products cannot function without the Ripple network. Even though the network is open source, these products are not. This means that the Ripple network can run without Ripple Labs, but Ripple Labs cannot run without the Ripple network. This unique relationship is one of the main reasons Ripple has so much controversy. We've gotten to the end of today's video, guys. Now, before you leave, make sure to show us some love by leaving a thumbs up on this video. P.S. Subscribe so you never miss out on great videos like this.